So, how many people in this room think they're a furry?
Probably.
Yeah. How many of the people are afraid you might be one?
That is very much what we're here to discuss today. Yeah. You are currently sitting in a panel called "What is a Furry and Why You Are One." We've run this for 2 years now, or at least I have. And Trappa has finally decided to join us for the first time after offering for 3 years.
Yeah. I think I came up with the original idea for the panel and then never made it. Ever.
Yeah. Trappa tends to get roped into a lot of things at the convention, much like myself. His tend to be a little bit more I can't leave kind of things. So, yes, thank you for coming. So, half of the discussion that we're going to have today is related to the things that we do at conventions and things that you might actually find are interesting and available to you outside of this convention and this fandom. First of all, my name's Affinity. For those of you who don't know me, I've been around since the first year. I ran ops for the last 2 years. This year I'm running a bunch of other stuff. And I'll let Trappa introduce himself.
My name is Trappa, and I do various things in various fandoms. I helped start this convention, as did Finn. I helped start Rainforest and Califer and Vancouver and a bunch of others. So, yeah, and I wrote their Edge software. Sorry. In terms of this panel, I think the other half of this panel will just be making fun of ourselves and yourselves, because... Come on, let's not be too serious here.
Yeah, this panel is really meant to be a very free-form kind of thing. Speaking of free-form, hello.
Furries are serious business.
Yeah. Serious business.
Yeah,
serious business.
Serious business.
Okay, so we'll start out with something really simple. Who here would consider themselves a brony?
I just did that.
I'm asking the question because there are people that come to these cons that do not consider themselves a brony. Who does not consider themselves a brony?
Oh, sure.
There you go. And actually, that's a valid hand. That is a valid hand. So there you are. Now, that just goes to show you that people come to conventions for a lot more reasons than just an interest in a particular subject. I mean, most people think that if you're a furry, you must be interested in, I don't know, like Disney's Robin Hood or Pokemon or, any other.
No, I think that most people who think furry, it means you must be interested in things involving holes and things involving sausages.
Oh, you mean donuts? I love donuts.
Donuts, yes.
I love donuts. Absolutely. Yeah. So there's obviously a very strong misconception when it comes to furry. Last year I started with this subject, and I will start with it again. Who has seen the CSI episode about furry?
Who thinks that's representative? Yes. Shut up, dog. Bad dog.
Furry, very loosely described, can be described in some ways like what they tried to represent in a very bad way on the CSI episode.
Isn't there a pony version of the CSI episode? I mean, not a pony CSI episode, but surely there is some mass media version of pony advertising that is essentially the equivalent.
Well, yeah. I mean, geez, how much has Pony been and Brony been in the media these days?
Okay, give a shout out for the worst cringeworthy pony coverage you guys have heard.
Anything like
Fox News.
So now you get an idea of how the furries think about the CSI episode.
Yes. The CSI episode, to give you some history for those who don't know and who haven't seen it, it was called Fur and Loathing in Las Vegas. It was made over 10 years ago at this point. It was made in 2000-ish, somewhere around there. And they needed a scapegoat. They needed a community of people that were misunderstood and people didn't know anything about.
I don't agree with that. I think they just, if you really watch CSI, they just went around to every possible fandom. They did water sports. They did, all if you watch
water
CSI,
skiing is.
They were all like.
I like water skiing myself.
Yeah, water skiing.
Yeah.
So they were doing all the different weird things. You and the staff shirt that's about to walk out? No?
Skitters. No, he won't.
Can somebody go over to the ops room and get us 2 glasses? Because we're thirsty. I'm thirsty. I'm just saying we, because,
Trappa tends to speak in the royal we.
Yes.
It's we are thirsty, we will have water now.
Yes.
Okay, so anyways, the CSI episode was meant to sort of take a fringe group, as they have many times, as you've mentioned, and sort of create an unusual story that would make people go, what's that? and it worked. Because they built, my understanding, and certainly correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding of the way this worked was they wanted something that would be an adult-related subject for two couples to get into an argument with, and then they came up with this wild idea of this guy would be dressed in a costume and get shot by a hunter because they thought he was a real animal, and get hit by a truck or something. I can't remember how that episode even went, but it was not very good. So they came up with this thing, and they were trying to figure out an adult situation. So they thought, I know, let's put people in animal costumes and put them in a dungeon with whips and chains and all those types of things. And apparently they actually built this set. So then they said, well, you know what? We're in California. I'm sure there's somebody in California that's interested in this subject. Why don't we find some actual furries, and we'll bring them in to see if, we can add some credibility to our set and to everything we're representing here. And they brought them in, and they just went like this.
Yeah. But to their credit, and we're getting way off track here, so we should get off this topic and get on track again. But to their credit, the couple of furries that I know of that were actually involved in the episode, the directors did actually take at least 50% of their suggestions and make the episode less cringeworthy than they had intended to make it originally. So to their credit, at least to give them that. But that being said, it really just talks about how misrepresentation in media. And so when you're talking about whether you guys are furries and whether, there's some sort of separation. And I hear, and as a furry, I hear a lot in the Brony chat groups and the Brony chat channels how about, well, you're not really a real furry, or you're not really a real Brony. And it's not nice. It's not, but and at the same time, it's not really true. I mean.
Yeah, I have a way to lead into that. The reason, actually, I like to start with a CSI episode is because that's what they wanted. That's what the public thinks we are. And now we're about to tell you a little bit more about what we really are. And what that is getting into what he's saying. Now, I'm just going to start out really quickly. So if furry isn't something that CSI can tell me about and can't define it for me, what is it? And I like to go with a kind of a dictionary definition. Now, if you were to look it up on Wikipedia, and I have, it says furry is, specifically, an interest in anthropomorphic animals. And that in itself could be pretty well anyone in this room that had their hand up that said they're a Brony. Because I hate to say it, but anthropomorphic horses do fit in that category.
Shh, don't tell them.
I know. Oh, sorry. No, it's totally different. With totally different fandom, has nothing. Wait a minute. It's nothing like Pokemon or. Well, it kind of is.
No, Pokemon.
Yeah, it's not, but it's nothing like Disney movies with animal. It kind
of is. Has anybody seen the?
No, but it's only ponies. There's no other there are no other.
The Renamon.
Too.
Stuff. Renamon.
Renamon.
Digimon. Yeah.
Digimon. So anyway, what we're trying to get at is that an interest in anthropomorphic animals doesn't make you a furry per se. I like to extend it, and maybe Trappy, you'll disagree with me on this one, but I like to extend it as an interest in anthropomorphic animals, meaning animals with human characteristics, to the point of creating your own character based around that interest. Who has an OC? You're a furry.
I'll actually disagree with you there, though. So I'll disagree with you and say that we talk about the Brony community, and we talk about the furry community, and for me, it's the community that makes the furry. And the sci-fi community and so the Brony community is distinct from furries, but at the same time also inclusive of. So in a Venn diagram, not mutually exclusive. And for me, you get the get-togethers, the meetups at the malls, the room parties, or going out to somebody's place or watching the show. All of those things are what I get out of furry. And so if that's what makes us a furry, or if that's what makes us a community, then by the same means, anybody here who's into ponies could most certainly come to furries, and there'd be no difference, right?
And that's sort of that's exactly what I was going to just get at. Remember, I was talking the strict dictionary definition. Now, you don't have to be a furry just because you fit the definition. I mean, in a lot of cases, people choose to accept a definition based on what they feel they are themselves. You can be a Brony with an OC and not be a furry. That's fine. No problem. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to define it definitively, that's probably the easiest way to say. Because people always say, well, what is a furry? That's kind of the strict way to say it if you want to. But that said, you don't have to be. You can just like Pony. You can just like, whatever, Pokemon, doesn't matter. But the point is, community, as Trappa was saying, is really what this entire thing is about. I mean, why else would we be here dressed ridiculously in silly costumes other than to be social and have fun, right?
By the way, who wants a hug? Because these
Yeah,
guys
who wants
are
a
all
hug?
gullible.
Okay, mission, hug every one of those people.
Yes, hug everyone. But don't forget to get your written consent forms first.
Oh yeah, don't forget the written hug consent. Come up here if you want a hug. Come on, come up here. Come get a hug. Come get a hug. And I'm actually, this is going to lead into a fun subject that I always bring up regarding furry. You are currently engaged in what we furries refer to as a handshake. And I say this because, and I'm not even kidding. The first time, and this leads into Trappa actually being involved.
Don't go to FurryCon and sniff somebody's butt.
Yeah.
Not acceptable.
Okay, so first time, just while this maniacal craziness is happening, we got a changeling hugging Rainbow Dash. This is something wrong with this. Oh, you lost your chrysalis. So first time. Oh, here we go. First time I went to a furry event. Oh, jeez. Not very nice. Oh, I did. I got beat up by a dog. Yo, dog. Oh, you want a hug? All right. First time I went to a furry event, it was actually due to a Second Life encounter. I was on a Second Life. I met a couple people from Surrey, and they said, hey, why don't you come over? I said, sure. I came over, and this guy right here, not dressed like this guy right here was having a fur meet. Yay. And so I walk into this thing, and the first thing he does when he sees me, hi, I'm Trappa. And he hugs me, and I look at him like, hi. Wow,
Yep,
what just happened?
I'm a hugger.
Yeah. So civets tend to be very huggy. Anyways, that is more or less how furries tend to greet each other. We're a very open, very giving, very affectionate community, I would say. And hugs are natural to us. So like just as we would come up and bro hoof each other or, maybe whatever, high five or handshake, a hug is totally a welcome thing for furries. And it's just part of what we do. In fact, when I got into the Brony fandom, which was not that long ago, it was only the start of this con, this convention, the first year, I went up and started hugging people when I first met them because I was used to community. Oh, come and hug them. And they were looking at me like weird. I said, oh, right, I guess I can't do that here, can I?
I just take the stairs.
So it's a bit of a different thing. So that's something that I got used to when we got into furry because it is very open. It's very giving, very diverse.
I mentioned that I had previously started some of the conventions in the area, and one of the hotels, not necessarily this one, I went up to the first meeting with the hotel, and we were, meeting, and the guy who's meeting me stands up and is like, oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I give him a hug, and I'm like, hey, I'm Trappa. And he's like, oh, you're a hugger. And I'm like, yep. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, so it can go both ways, but it is very much part of our culture for sure. And people say, what does it mean to be in furry culture? What is it that it actually means? What goes on at these cons that isn't actually going on here? And that's sort of what I was hoping to touch on here. Furry really is the same as what you're seeing here. Everybody if you look around, you'll see different people from different walks of life, different age groups, and very diverse interests. That's what furry is. It's really everyone takes something different out of this fandom. So as a result, you'll get people coming here for costumes. You'll have people that are wearing these amazing full body costumes. I'm one of them. I love fursuiting. In fact, I'll use that as a cue here. I never transport his head without being covered, unless I'm wearing it. But what's that? Yeah, which is funny because I actually asked Pinkie Pie here to bring her other character on a stick because I just thought it was funny. But it's a Lord of the Flies reference. But anyways, Trappa, fill in for me.
Yeah, well, you'll notice that I got... But you'll notice that I got changed when nobody was looking on the camera, right? So, but who here is into costuming and cosplay? Obviously, we have some in the front row. There is a cosplay and costuming, yeah. And
Quite
you
a few.
guys. And do you think that a fursuit is required to make you furry? No. Is a pony OC required to make you a brony? No. So there's no requirements.
You don't. Everyone thinks, "Oh, I don't have a costume. I have nothing I can wear at a FurCon." And we say, "Well, you're wearing
I would hope that
everything
you would
could
wear clothes.
Yeah, wear some clothes. That'd be nice. We wouldn't have to kick you out that way. So yeah.
Free Wolf Moon. There you go.
Yeah.
Who invited Moon Moon?
Exactly right. So it's one of those things. Like everyone thinks, "Oh, it's completely different than anything I'm into." No, it's not. It really isn't. You can come in with a pony OC and be completely and utterly accepted in the furry fandom. I know more than a couple that are that way. I mean, like I said before, I have probably majority of the people on staff for Vancouver this year, or not majority, but certainly a large number, have Pokemon fursonas. That's what we call it, by the way, not persona, but fursona. Play on the words. We do that, anyways. Don't fursecute. No persecution. It's okay. I'm Popufur. It's fine. I can say it.
I'm laughing because you think you're Popufur.
I know, right? I'm nothing. Anyways.
You're nothing.
So that's really what it's about, is just finding what connects you. Now, we already mentioned costumes, obviously. Something that the media likes to really grab a hold of is the costumes, because it's
They
very
photograph
visual.
well.
I mean, look at these guys. I mean, they are incredibly
Aw, aren't
visual.
they
You can tell
adorable?
them. You can see them.
Except for the wolf.
Except for the wolf. No, you can't see him. No. So, with that said, I mean, that's the focus. Excuse me. That's the focus that the media tends to have, but that is by far not the only thing. Who's an artist in here? Who would consider themselves an artist?
Yay.
Few people. Awesome. Now, in a furry group, there would be about 3 times the number of people with their hands up, because there are so many artists in our fandom. Most of the Brony artists, I guarantee, the artists that you're following on DeviantArt and everywhere else, they're either furry or they were at one point. Very, very, very large numbers of them were. It's a very art is easily a part of the culture, as much as more so, I'd say, than costuming.
Although I do find it interesting that there's a couple of really popular brony artists that keep their furry identity somewhat secret.
Separate.
And I also find it a little bit sad that they feel they have to.
I agree. Yeah, it is too bad, because a lot of the artists that we follow as furries, and I mean, okay, we're not gonna lie here. I mean, a very large part of that market is, you know, prepubescent, well, not prepubescent, but pubescent teenage boys, right? So you can imagine the kind of art that they will want to have drawn. Naturally, that's, if you're getting paid to draw something, you're going to draw it, right?
Wait,
And
you're telling me that there's an art of an adult nature involved in the furry?
no. I'm saying that, you know, they really like donuts.
Right.
So
I like the hot dog. I like the hot dogs. And
that's right. No, they like donuts. But no, so you will catch every kind of subject in art form.
What was that about Clop?
What's that? No, I like to hop. I like hopping.
Hop.
Hopping is good. Hopping is good. No, but we wouldn't talk about anything with a C that rhymes with hop. No.
Yeah.
That, I mean, right. No, that, yes. No,
Carrot top?
not that at all. So all we're saying is that it exists in every fandom. That's all we're saying. But unfortunately, because it is something that people see and is very unusual, people latch onto it and say, that's what furry is. It's this terrible thing I found on E621 or whatever the heck they visited. It's like, no, that's not it, really. That's part of it, but it's not it.
Okay, let's see if we want to open the room to questions.
Wow, that's early. Okay.
Is it early?
Yeah, we're done, bro.
I don't like to make the questions at the end. I like to make the questions in the middle. So that if we have something that's like,
Okay.
interesting to talk about, then there's...
You know what, Trappa? Sure. That sounds good. That I
You
like.
darn tootin' you'll do
Civets
that
have
one.
good ideas, so we'll let him go with this idea. Yes.
Well, this is just a little plug of a group that I found called MLP Fursuiters.
MLP Fursuiters. Okay.
And it's pretty much a group with a whole bunch of resources for like fursuiting and even making your own fursuit, which I'm planning to next year. So
Awesome. That actually leads into a great thing before we get into anything on that. Has anyone in this room made a fursuit before?
This is my first one I ever made.
Very cool. Very
Congrats.
cool. Congrats. And we got a couple people up here. That's awesome. Now, if you don't know what
Hold on. What's the hardest part about making a fursuit? Anybody got the answer out there?
I know this one.
The hardest part about making a fursuit.
The customer.
Okay, tell them the answer.
Starting
Yep, getting
is the
started.
hardest part. Deciding to actually start is the hardest part. For example, at this panel last year, I said very clearly that I was going to be making a Daring Do costume. I don't have a Daring Do costume.
Fail.
I know, and I have no reason because I have every piece of help.
Because I do like Monday nights. It's actually called Project Thursday on Monday. So,
That's an inside
because it keeps
joke.
getting moved around.
Yeah. But yeah, we have project night at Trappist Place. He has a really nice place out in Surrey, and we built. Well, you know, it's
What?
passable.
Are you dishing my place? Get over here.
No, Rekka wouldn't do that. He would never do that. Yeah, he would. Rek.
I thought it was going to be worse than that.
So the whole point is that if you have an interest in doing something like building a costume, I never even wore a costume, a fursuit, or a mascot costume, or anything like that until I built my own. In fact, I went to his place because he roped me into this fandom like nobody's business.
I'm good at roping people into
He is. He's good at voluntelling people too. That's another thing. Have you ever heard that term? This is where it started.
No.
What? It might as well have anyway. So I said, okay, you know what? That's really cool. I want to make a costume. Well, I know how to do it, he says. And I said, okay, that sounds like fun. Stop nosing the microphone, civet. Doesn't smell that good. You're getting a call. Oh, that's not at all distracting. Do 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 do.
Hello, Selkit.
Oh, this is interesting. Selkit was the first furry I ever met.
Cat sitting here right now, mewling at me.
Hi, Selkit. You're in the middle of a panel.
Want to be fed.
Hey, Selkit. You are now featured in the welcome to
What is a furry and why you are one?
what is a furry and why are you are one? Say hi to the crowd.
Actually, I didn't catch half of that there, so. Although I'm hearing a lot of
Selkit-
for some reason.
So-
What the hell are you up to?
You're in a panel room. You're in a panel. You're being featured in a panel.
Uh-oh.
I'm holding my and tell us, Selkit, what are you doing right now?
Well, right now, I'm turning lots of pink foam into not very pink foam bricks. Riveting,
What are
isn't it?
you wearing?
Wait, wrong question. Don't answer that question. And what con are you doing that for?
I'm doing that for Rainforest 2015, theme swords and sorcery, and
Nice quote.
chunks of castle, swords, and other stuff are coming together, and your damn cat.
Whoa! It's okay. He's not a panelist. We'll let that go. I already.
My cats are doing what?
Your cat, honest to goodness, is sitting here batting at the end of the damn ruler, trying to pull it all over the board.
So you're saying that Silver has cute cats?
Yeah, I'm saying Silver has two cats, and I think they want to be fed because now I have one of them on my feet too.
Working
Okay.
with animals. Part of
Well-
being a furry.
That being said, I'm going to let you go, and I'll call you back when I'm done the panel.
All right, have a good one, Trappa.
Say goodbye to everybody else.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a good day.
So yeah, Selkit is actually working. He's one of our theming coordinators for Rainforest this year. Who's heard of Rainforest before? A few of you? Okay. If you haven't heard of Rainforest, it's one of the larger conventions in the furry fandom, and it's only 3 hours drive down to Seattle.
Same hotel as Everfree.
Yeah, or at least, well, last year and the
Never,
year
last
before.
year's
Yeah,
Everfree, yeah.
Everfree's at a new hotel this year, but every year they've held their event at the same hotel Rainforest does. We may have had something to do with that, actually.
Yep, kind of buying in bulk.
Kind of a
hotels.
lot actually to do with that. So Rainforest is there's a number of people that are standing right here, or at least two right here, that also attend Rainforest and enjoy themselves. Anyone else has been to Rainforest before?
Well,
All right, a couple people.
Or any other con.
Or okay, how about any other furry con? Who's been
Well,
to a
not
furry
even
con?
just furry cons. What about anime cons? Who's been to an anime con? Who's been to a sci-fi con? Who's been to a...
Okay. I think we're getting this too specific. Okay, who's been to a con before?
Yeah. And
Everyone who
today-
didn't have their hand up, you're at a con, so put your hand up. No.
But do you guys essentially agree that they basically all have this very similar format, regardless of the, you have your vendors function space, you have your artist alley maybe, you have your reg, you have your lineups,
Yeah.
line con.
Next weekend, so that's the same thing too.
Packs,
Yep.
packs, yep. I think it's funny because we were talking about this earlier this week, but we found that there is a bit of a difference in focus on some conventions. I found that there tends to be those that are vendor focused on getting really good vendors and really top names and stuff like that. And then there's those that focus on the community. And I would like to put furry almost exclusively in the community side. It's very rare to find a furry con. In fact, I can't think of any that are corporate based. There's almost none. So for that reason, yeah. Well, their theme was corporate, so. But either way, because it's a very community-focused event, much like we try to do here with BronyCAN, it's focused very much on what you guys want to do. So for that reason, Furry is exactly what you guys, everyone in this room right here that would be interested in attending, we shape the panels and the events, the space, everything we do is based around what people want to do. We have had panels at Vancouver, for example. Who's been to Vancouver?
Yeah.
A couple of you? Awesome. That's your local FurryCon, by the way, everyone. And you're looking at two of the founders right here.
And
so,
it'll be in this hotel.
Yeah, it's at this hotel this year. So, I mean, it's even going to be familiar territory for you. That said, we base that entire event around what people want, and we have had a heck of a lot of interest in pony stuff. I mean, there's, I think 2 years ago, we had 4 different pony panels all in the same convention. You'd think it's a BronyCon. Like, honestly, except the dances were better. No, wait, no, they weren't.
Okay, I want to go off on a little.
I was saying that for the benefit of our DJ who's standing right there in his Kigu. That's DJ Rekka, everybody. So
Hey.
get to check him out. Shameless plug. It's on Saturday night. So there you go. So he'll be spinning for everybody.
So I want to go in a little bit of a different direction here for a second.
Sure.
Because we talk about what is Brony and what is furry. And so you guys are definitely 100% fans of the My Little Pony cartoon. But not just the My Little Pony cartoon. It's a specific series. Are you guys a fan of G2 My Little Pony? Some of you are.
Any G2 fans in here? Or G3.5?
But
No hands at all for 3.5. Not a surprise. Okay.
But I think that one of the things that makes the furries a little different than other fandoms is you have Star Trek fandom, fans of Star Trek. You have Stargate fandoms, fans of Stargate, and even what was the sparkly?
Lord of the Rings fandoms. You have.
No, I'm thinking sparkly vampires.
Avatars.
But all of those are fans of a specific show. And what you could describe furries as, and somebody did say, what are furries fans of? And in the end, I really liked the definition that furries were fans of each other. And if you look closely, if you look really far at the Brony community, yay, Bronies are fans of the furry, of the My Little Pony show. But if you really look at the Brony fandom, you guys are also fans of each other. You guys, have your OCs. You guys have your favorite Brony artists. You have your Equestria. All of these things are not so much fans of the show. They're fans of each other. And it was the show that launched it all. And it was the show that got you guys initially together. But you guys have evolved beyond that. You guys are now, just like the furries, fans of each other, fans of work of each other. And certainly you still love the show, but...
Pinky, you want to go this way, I think. Sorry to interrupt. You want to go that way. Yeah,
so, if you get what I'm saying there, I mean, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to say that Bronies are furries, because really you guys are fans of each other. You're fans of the creativity, the friendship, the acceptance, the place to belong, and all of that is definition of furries as well.
And yeah, we talked about Poppy Fur. Everyone's heard of Horse Famous, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of Horse Famous people here. Who's heard of I'm a Toon Link? As an example, that's a guy who took a bunch of pony toys and threw it at a camera, and now he's a freaking fandom celebrity. Go figure, right? But I mean, we have the same thing. I mean, every one of our guests of honor, with very few exceptions, is people from our community. We don't really have those. As a result, furry cons and things like that tend to be cheaper.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to pay these amazingly high agent fees to everybody because there's no agents.
Yeah.
So. Sorry, that's where I was going with that. But yeah, basically just being fans of each other is great because, I mean, like I was saying before, you could be an artist. You could be an amazing artist and you just sit there and draw stuff and you look at it and you go, that's better than anything I've ever seen. And yet, here's just some guy who just, or girl or whoever, that took an interest in doing this, and now suddenly they're finding a place in a fandom where they just didn't feel like they fit anywhere else because maybe they have a very specific interest in a specific thing. But hey, that's cool. You know, you want to be a big dragon guy smashing a city, and you like drawing art of just that. That's cool. There's people in the furry fandom that are into that. There's, you know, if you want to be the cute little cuddly kitty that wants to go and hug everybody, totally awesome. Go ahead, have a run at it. Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't technically describe myself as a furry. I do enjoy anthropomorphic animals. I have actually enjoyed writing myself, and I am actually writing a novel that has to deal with that, and it has also been inspired by Stargate.
So you've got lots of different fandoms as a writer that you're incorporating together into one thing.
Yeah, it's sort of becoming full circle.
Right. And that's exactly that's what I'm getting at. So to you, furry is like a good potential audience for something that doesn't really get defined by one specific subculture.
It's also an inspiration for species.
Yep.
Right. Because we're all here for one reason, because we like one thing specifically. That's what this con is about. You like two. You like a few. Raka, you're always going to like more than one.
Hold on.
What?
Knife on my back.
Anyways, no, so yeah, it's about being general. Now, that's something that we as people who run conventions, because Trap and I certainly run our share of conventions, when we saw this fandom taking off the way it did, we all know that eventually the steam is going to start to kind of falter on this fandom. There's nothing wrong with that. That happens, you know, it's the nature of the beast. That when that happens, what we're sort of hoping is that, hey, furry is a great place for everyone to sort of end up, if you want to, because there's nothing saying that you can't enjoy something from 30 years ago and have a group of people that are all the same way as you, all enjoying the same thing at a panel or an event at a furry convention. That is completely valid. And that's sort of what we're trying to get at, or at least what I would like to get out of this is that, hey, once you leave this room out of this convention, and you say, man, I wish we had more stuff to do.
Yep.
Here you go.
So who would like to know what got me into the furry fandom? Okay.
I think I know this one. Actually, I don't know if I've heard this story. So yeah, go for it.
No, it's not a story. It's a show. It's Simba and Nala and the Lion King.
Lion King.
If it wasn't for the Lion King, I never would have connected with people who I ultimately ended up to be discovering the furry fandom and furry friends. But if there was a Lion King fandom, and to a large extent there was a huge Lion King fandom that lasted for like 20 years after the show was over. There's still Lion King Art Archive, which has some of the best Lion King art on the planet. And I think that the pony community will be very much the same. Is the Lion King fandom ended up folding into the furry fandom. But I think there's more separation. There was never any Lion King conventions. There was never any. It was just a little too early in the internet for that to be a thing at the time. But certainly, probably 90% of the people I knew when I started the furry fandom or getting into the furry fandom were Lion King fans. And then as time went on, we were just... So I think that if we were to talk about the eventual fate of the Brony fandom, I see that, you know, there'd be certain people who would go to the anime area, and there'd be people who go to the sci-fi, and there'd be a chunk of you that'll come over to furry and just be like, these people are like me, and I want to be around people like me.
Yep. You'll find a lot of people that you'll feel right at home. That's all I'm trying to say. Not everybody, obviously, you know, have different strokes for different folks, but that's sort of where we're going with this, is that, hey, here's another cool place you could try to hang out in, you know? Why not, right? What's
our time looking like?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're good. We got another 20 minutes. Okay. So 15 minutes or so. So something fun that we did in the first year, and I regretted we didn't do this last year, was we actually made someone a furry. We actually created someone's character, and we gave them a name, and we did all of those things at this panel. And I'm not saying that I want to volunteer, but I want to volunteer.
No.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
I want. Hold on. I want to pick the person.
Okay. Whoa! Careful! Oh, there we go. Okay. That could have been disastrous.
Okay.
Someone's phone. Oh, is this another phone call we need to have?
Oh,
here we go. Oh, there's another phone. No.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, it disappeared.
Trappa.
You don't get to.
You need to pick a volunteer.
Oh,
And
okay.
this now, to be clear, this is with the intention of creating a character and a name for you that you can use in the furry fandom, or not at all. It's up to you.
I kind of wanted to choose somebody who didn't have their hand up.
Okay.
What was that? Okay, I'll go for you in the back.
Yeah. You were very excited about this, so that's awesome. Yeah, come on up. Round of applause for our volunteer, everyone. So I'm going to read your name.
I'm going to dub this guy here, and he's going to be a wolf, and he's going to be
He's a wolf?
McDougal, the farmer wolf.
McDougal, okay.
He doesn't get anywhere because nobody trusts his sheep and horses with him
Right,
because he's a wolf.
because he's a wolf.
Nobody can
Yeah.
trust wolves.
I like this. Okay, so let's focus on our volunteer here. So if you could introduce yourself.
My name's Ashley.
Hello, Ashley. So just out of curiosity, what was your, if you could give your interest outside of My Little Pony, that would maybe be a little furry-centric, what would you say is maybe something you'd say inspired you towards anthropomorphics?
Tech. I work tech support, so that's mainly my.
Tech support?
Yeah.
Okay.
So computers are mainly my interest.
So computers are your thing, but okay, let's say we were going into more like Disney cartoons or things you liked as a kid. What would say inspires you the most out of maybe some of that type of subject? Please say Disney's Robin Hood.
Can I actually say yes? Because I grew up watching that as a kid.
There you go. Now, I can't even tell you, that is one of the most common things that I see in furries. Almost every furry in the world will say, "Oh, I love that movie." Like every one of them. It's
You
one
always
of
wanted to be Maid Marian, didn't you?
Of course. Of course. Why not?
Everybody wants to be Mary Marian, even him.
There's a reason that a fox fursona is like the default that everyone kind of goes with when you first start in furry.
If I had to choose, I would choose a cat fursona.
You would choose a cat. Not the and the canines in the room all kind of cringe. No, I'm kidding. Actually, cats, felines in general, probably one of the most popular. I can't even count how many cats I know. So, yep.
Right?
Dogs-
so we
dogs
pretty much
suck.
rule the world.
Yeah, Egyptians worship cats. They got it right, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Okay. So what we're going to do up here is we're going to sort of figure out something for Ashley to be. She's already sort of said she'd like to be a feline. Now, Ashley, if you could describe certain characteristics of yourself, I mean, maybe things that relate to cats, maybe what would you describe yourself as? Like, okay, are you outgoing at all?
No, I'm a recluse.
You're a recluse, okay. So would you say in a group of people, would you be the one to add a retort to something, or would you be the one to listen to other people retort?
Listen to other people retort.
Okay, so you're very much a pacifist in that sense. Okay.
Yeah. Do you expect everybody to wait on you hand and foot?
Yeah, do you expect other people to do things for you?
No.
No, so you like to do, you're more independent than that.
So an outdoor
much.
cat.
Okay.
To a degree.
Okay. The reason I'm getting at
great.
this is most people, when they create their characters, it's an element of themselves. Now, this is the next question that really, really matters. Do you wish you weren't that way?
No.
Okay,
Why
so
does
you're
that
very
matter?
happy with who you are.
Yes.
Excellent. So one of the things that Furry gives you an opportunity to do is explore an element of yourself that might not reflect you as a person. Something, for example, and I'll just give an example if I may. No, not at all. Not at all. Because in almost every way, this character, Ayoko, is me. Very much.
For example, my fursona is thin. I like to call it majestic bulk.
But so what we're getting at is that ultimately your fursona, as we call it, can be anything. And it doesn't have to be just one either. You can pick multiple. So if you were to pick a character, you think, based on what you're telling me here, it sounds like you would want something that reflects you.
Yes.
Okay. So other people might, for example, in your position, actually decide to be maybe a big, aggressive, Monster,
dog.
sure. Maybe you're a big maybe you're a Godzilla, okay? Or what do they call? I can't remember the name of that. What they're called. Kaiju. Thank you. So maybe you're a kaiju. Maybe you're a kaiju with purple spots and blue hair, because you gotta have blue hair. I mean, yeah.
A macro.
10
kitty
points
with
to anybody
blue
who
hair.
got that reference. Yes. Thank you. Sorry, I yelled. Anyways,
Stop yelling.
what's that?
That's actually my boyfriend too.
Who? Oh, okay, awesome.
Again with the yelling.
Surprised that he knew it.
Ashley's boyfriend knows the Strong Badia. The Strong Badia is the best place to live. Okay. So, anyways, that said, so somebody, maybe you'll pick something really passive. I know a guy who's a very outgoing, very talented costumer, and he actually doesn't have it anymore, but he built a costume that was mopey and grumpy, but easily the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Does he
And
not have that anymore?
No, he sold it. I know,
Oh.
Dorito. I can't believe he sold it, but
That
he did.
surprises me.
Yeah, Dorito, right? You know Dorito. Yeah, Dorito. So Dorito is okay. See it shining. Yeah. Okay. And round of applause for Shining for sticking it out, and all the costumers here,
Yep.
who is kind enough to bring his wife with him. So, for those who don't know, these costumes are very hot. So, yeah, they're very hot.
I actually have a lot of respect for the people that are in the costumes because I wouldn't be able to do it.
A lot of respect. Now we'll cover that in a minute, but we'll get to. That's,
Oh, hey, I can
this
see
is-
again.
There you go. So ultimately, this guy has this character. It's adorable. It's a dingo red panda hybrid. So you combine those two characters together. It's adorable. His paws are bigger than my head. Like there's just this giant, and he's short. He's like this tall. So he's like down here, and he's got these giant paws, and he's grumpy. He's got this swept back hair look, and he just walks around. He kind of mopes around. Just walks around like that, really mopey, kind of like Rainbow Dash right now. No, Rainbow Dash is hot, and that's understandable.
This Rainbow Dash suit has always made me feel like Rainbow Dash is like, screw you. Don't give me the hoof, you. I'll put you in the corner.
If they had opposable fingers, I'd be sure that they'd be flipping the bird right now. So.
Absolutely. So anyway, all I'm saying is that this guy, who is otherwise a really outgoing, really happy guy, loves playing this character. You go up, it's like, can I have a hug? And he'll be like, and just walk away from you, and he'll like push you away. It's like, can I take a picture? No. He like hides, and it's just great. And but it's a character, and it took me a while to understand that that's what this was. He was pissing me off intentionally because it's on he's being a character. Anyone who sees Gilda this weekend, and you will see Gilda this weekend, I guarantee you'll get the same treatment. And don't worry, she expects it back, so it's fine. Just don't hurt her.
Bad seed.
Yeah. But that's another example of a character where you can get into costume and be someone entirely different than who you are. Because trust me, Gilda out of costume is nothing like that. So anyways, that was a long digression. So you want a character that's more like you. So we've already covered it. So you're very independent. You like to do things for yourself. You're a bit of a recluse. You don't like to speak up in conversation and things like that so much. You like to be sort of the one to listen. Would you consider yourself a fashionista or anything like? Do you?
I'm wearing shoes from Superstore. I'm not a fashionista.
Okay, so you have a natural aesthetic good looks. Okay, so we're getting all these things together. So I'm starting to picture a couple different cat feline species that might fit with that. An independent. That's exactly
puma.
what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking.
He
or
said puma.
maybe even a jaguar. Yep, jaguar.
He said poo.
So now we got to say, what is your favorite color?
Actually, I'm wearing it right now.
Blue. Well, I'm
So
starting
a
to see a
bluma?
picture on something here. I'm starting to see maybe a bluma. A bluma. A puma with blue spots. And you'll notice we're kind of amalgamating it because this is a creation that, well, at the moment anyway, all of us are involved with. Anyone have any suggestions? I'd love to hear it. Just yell it out. Any suggestions? Yeah.
Maybe a black with blue stripes.
Blue stripes? I'm liking this. Pumas have spots, so it would have to be spots, I think. Unless you're talking about a king cheetah, most of those kitties are spotted, I believe. Yes, ocelot, right, exactly. Actually, I guess a snow leopard to some degree as well. No, they're more spotted. They're like shaped spots. But okay, so we got. Are you full blue, you think, or do you want to stick with maybe more natural with maybe a blue accent?
Yeah, I agree.
Blue accent.
So like a blue accent. So okay, so we got a puma. Okay, now we need a name. We have a species. Are you happy with this species?
Absolutely.
Now here's another question. Are you anthropomorphic or do you walk on all fours?
I walk on all fours.
You are
Feral.
not feral, because that's the wrong term. We always misuse that in furry. That is quadruped. So you are a quadruped. A lot of people say feral to that. Feral means you are completely wild and have no human characteristics. Now you could be that if you wanted. There's a lot of people in the Lion King fandom that do that, I noticed.
No, there's still more quadrupeds.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe I'm feral at heart.
Feral. Okay, so you've got a feral side to you. Most felines do. I've noticed that. Okay, so we've got a feral.
I kind of got bit by a cat like 2 days ago, so they are feral at heart.
I think-
Cats aren't werewolves.
Cats.
They're not.
No. So we've got a puma with blue accents. I'm going to say blue paw pads too. I like that idea. On the bottom of the paw pads.
That's the very in
Yeah, I
thing
like
in
that
fandom
one.
now.
What color are her eyes? Would you say? Blue. So she has blue eyes.
It's blue-eyed fire.
Blue eye
eye.
fire.
Blue-eyed, 2 eyes.
Blue-eyed fire. So you actually already even have a name for
I
this.
actually like blue Wi-Fi better. Single eye.
Blue Wi-Fi.
Eye fire.
I like Wi-Fi. I use Wi-Fi all the time. Wi-Fi's amazing.
Wi-Fi's free sometimes.
As long as you don't call your fursona Bluetooth, you're fine.
Yeah.
Call it Bluetooth and you start getting sued.
I'm starting to see this here. So I think you have just adopted a new character here. So you are a blue puma, natural puma with blue spots, blue paw pads. You are a quadruped, so you walk on all fours, and your name is Blue-Eyed Fire.
Yep, that's it.
I think we just got a new furry, everybody. Congratulations, Blue-Eyed Fire. It's a pleasure meeting you. So that is as simple as it is, really. I mean, I think every one of us has at some point talked to their friends and said, I don't know what my character would be, and then this kind of thing happens. So, yeah.
Go get a commission.
It's simple, but it sounds a little complicated when you just try to figure out what species you are.
That's what makes it fun, though.
Yeah.
That is what makes it fun. Okay, out of all the furries I know, I can only think of 2 that have one character. Yeah, everyone has more than one character, it seems. You have one? Or
I have just one fursona, but I like.
You got lots of time left.
But it spans out from Sonic and My Little Pony.
Sonic, I never even covered that. That's a huge one in furry. Yeah. Star Fox. Yeah. Yeah. Digimon, Pokemon, any of that stuff. Anyway, so you have one. So, but yeah. Sorry, you were going to say something? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, he wasn't.
There are some similarities and differences between them, but
Right.
I kind of like the scheme of black and yellow. So each of my
Black and yellow.
characters have black and yellow.
Isn't there a Pokemon that's black and yellow? Umbreon, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pikachu, of course. But
Pikachu.
that's yellow and
There's a
black.
few. What was the other one? Isn't Renamon black and yellow? I don't remember.
He's yellow and black.
Oh, it's white, right? Okay. Okay. I really don't know anything about Pokemon. I didn't. That
How would
was
you know?
after
You're
me. That was. I'm old. Everyone. I am an old man. Not quite as old as him though. Okay, so there you go. So ultimately, a character can come from anywhere that you want. It can be an influence from another character from a show. I know people that will take a character from a show, like whatever. Hannibal Lecter?
Not that kind of show.
That's not quite what I was thinking, but.
Although, actually, I can almost guarantee you there's furry art of that somewhere.
Inuyasha, absolutely.
may not wanna look at
Yeah,
it.
you can take a character that is influenced. Like if you were to say, something from Pony and make that an influence towards your OC. I mean, people do that already. That could be a totally valid thing in the furry fandom too.
I think one of the cool things, and going off on a tangent, but before people go, I think one of the coolest things about the pony fandom that I find is that because you have this distinct style that the show has, you guys have so many more creators making the videos and the video shorts and things like that because you can focus heavily on one style. And so you can say, hey, I do coloring or I do line art, and these people can team up, where in the furry fandom, all the art's massively wide different styles. And if you could imagine doing a My Little Pony short in the style that Pikachu or that over 9,000, what is that show? Dragon Ball Z. You know, it just wouldn't look right because the style isn't the show, right? So I think that it's cool that you guys have so much more fan-made stuff that looks so accurate to the real show.
Yeah.
But I hope that you'll take those really awesome talents and go other places with it. There's a good artist that I like called Cerberus, and he does a lot of different little short videos. So look him up on YouTube. He's really good. But I could see a lot of really fun and funny things if you took Cerberus's sinister sense of humor and started
applied it.
mashing it up to the cute My Little Pony characters. That
Well,
would be
in
awesome.
a lot of ways, you need to check out Fallout Equestria, I think.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, Fallout Equestria, in a lot of ways, it's a huge following. It's a post-apocalyptic pony world.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it's definitely, I would say it's more grimdark than it is happy, for sure.
Yeah.
It's not my thing personally, but that's, with respect. I can respect the heck out of everyone that's into it because wow, is it well developed.
A lot of Cerberus's videos, all the furry animals end up dead. But you're laughing the whole time.
Yeah. It's Happy Tree. I was just going to make that reference. Exactly. Happy Tree Friends. So yeah, there's some amazingly talented people in the furry fandom. All it takes is having maybe an open mind towards a new idea and a new subject.
Oh, and that brings me to the idea. I'm going to plug something
better be
else
quick.
here. It's
Better
going to
be
be a plug. What are we doing this year that we didn't do last year? Does anybody know? Lots of stuff. But beyond that, we're broadcasting the theater up to your guest rooms.
Yes.
On Channel 56.
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm hoping to do, both with BronyCAN and with Vancouver, is to come up with our own furry TV channel.
Brony TV channel.
Furry Brony TV channel, using all these animation shorts and start submitting your shorts. So if we've tested it now, this is the first time we've tested it this year at the hotel. Looks like it's working. As long as it's working through the whole weekend, we'll do this again next year. And if you guys send us in your shorts and your videos and say, use our videos during your thing, we'll actually have like a 24-hour TV channel showing all the
all
shorts,
of your stuff.
all the cute videos, and all those sorts of things.
I mean, like I said, if you want to be I'm a Toon Link and throw a bunch of pony, plushies at a wall, then hooray, video, post it on there.
Is that
Maybe
literally
not.
all he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, not quite. No.
I mean, there's that one YouTuber who's like the top YouTuber now who has just like made his fame by screaming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're going to have to wrap things up here. We're just getting short on time, unfortunately.
Let's take two last questions.
Wait, I don't think we have time, unfortunately. I was gonna make some
minutes?
last-minute plugs. What's that? We
No
do have 5
plugs
minutes
for you.
We're going to say just some quick plugs. If you guys are interested at all in what we're talking about, you're interested in a new idea, a new fandom that maybe you could explore and be exactly who you are right now, wearing pony stuff and everything, and be fully accepted at, come check it out. One of the sites I'm going to post for that is bcfurries.com. There's a large message board there with lots and lots of people who would love to meet you. There's meetups every week, multiple times, in fact, usually. We do furry sushi on every Tuesday down in New West. We do meetups on an irregular basis, depending on who's willing to, sacrifice their house. We do all kinds of things. We have a con. We have Vancouver, which is in March. We would love to see you there. Our theme this year is Atlantis. So we are very excited for that one. If you have any inspirations towards that, and believe me, Stargate would be a valid representation for that. You could, no problem. And I'll get to your question in a sec. The other thing is, if you want something a little bit more kind of down to earth, not quite as much of a commitment as Vancouver, I run an event called Halloween. Halloween like a dog. I have run it. It's run over a decade now. It's last year we had 270 people at it, so it's actually quite well attended. It's a single day. It's a very long single day, and you get your money's worth. We'll put it that way. It's
Are we doing that in Burnaby again?
Yeah, we're doing it in the Burnaby Hotel where we've had Vancouver every other year, so it's the partner to this hotel. Nice and close to transit. It's only about even closer than this hotel is to transit. And it's $20 for the whole day. So come and check it out. If you're interested, halloween.ca. I think our site's down right now.
Enough plugs. We had one question.
Thank you, yeah.
Hold on.
It was also another plug.
Okay.
Oh, fuck,
You
go
can
for
plug
it.
that.
Similar to the BC group for the furries, the website, there's also one for Alberta located people.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Yeah, Alberta furries. And
Alberta
there's
furries.
A lot of similar stuff as like what you guys were just talking about.
Is there a Sask Furries, or is that like for a whole different thing? Oh, you're a Sask Furry?
Rekka? Yes? Oh.
Pinky wants to say something.
Pinky, did you want to say something? Or are you just excited because you're Pinky? Okay. There's... Okay, I'm doing a bad job of this.
So is there you do it.
Sorry.
Don't eat the microphone.
Yeah, you can eat
Can
it.
you hear me okay? Yeah. All right. I am a part of the Sask Furries and the Regina Costume League. And what we do is we go out like this in costume and we take care of underprivileged children, all sorts of different kinds. Sorry, it's hot in here. It's hard to talk in a fursuit because you're using up way too much energy. So we do all sorts of charitable events, and we take care of kids in the hospital. We raise money for underprivileged.
What's the website?
What's the website?
Sorry, sassfurries.com. And
Okay.
then,
Take the microphone
Regina-
away from her before she dies. Saskfurries.com.
Saskfurries.com. There you go.
Yay.
And hey, let's bring our costumers up here. Come on up,
Yeah.
guys.
Come on up.
And girls, I suppose, is relevant. Let's give a nice stage bow, everybody, for being in costume, and a round of applause for our costumers here.
Yay.
It is very warm in these costumes. If you want to hear all about it, I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you. That said, we are at the end of our time, so thank you very much for coming. I think that's about all we'll do. I, again, am Affinity. I'll be around all weekend if you want to talk about furry or anything else. I'm always here for you. Trappa is right there. So.
Yep. Have a nice day, guys.
Thanks again.